America is said to be a nation founded upon Judeo-Christian concepts. Is that true? And in our day, do we even understand what that might mean? Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10 Minute Torah, Day 2 of Bukukatai, and my statutes or my laws, my kuchot, those decrees that are beyond rational understanding at times. We read today, again, verse number 4 that we left off with yesterday and continue. And it says, "Then I shall give you rain in its season, and the land shall yield its crops. The trees of the field yield their fruit. Your threshing shall last to the time of the great harvest, and the great harvest shall last to the time of the sowing. And you shall eat your bread until you have enough, and you shall dwell in your land safely." Yah wants to bless his people. Who are his people? Well, very easily we'll say, well, Israel, they're the chosen people. And some would even more specify, it's the Jews, they're the chosen people. Certainly the Jewish people are chosen, but as a part of the greater whole, Israel, which includes exiles the world over. We see ourselves as adopted in, at least through Yeshua. Romans chapter 11 teaches that we are adopted and brought in to Israel. Ephesians chapter 2 teaches us that we're no longer outside the covenants and no longer without hope and no longer without inheritance or promise, but those that were afar off, that through Yeshua he has drawn near. And he has joined us with those that were close. So the far-off ones and their near ones, the middle wall of partition, the division has been torn down in Yeshua, and he is making a whole people. Let's use the idea of community. America is founded upon Judeo-Christian concepts. Well, the Judeo concept is, again, community. The rights of the individual are stipulated, but they are for the benefit of the whole. One who finds themselves in debt, they are rescued by the kinsman redeemer. That individual rises up, but it's for the benefit of his brother. Various judges were raised up to bring deliverance to the people. Kings will rule in the benefit of the people. So the ability, the strengths, the callings, the anointings, the setting apart of various individuals that we recognize as heroic, they were for the benefit of the nation. Therefore, it is community-based, the work of the individual for the community. In America, we're more based not on Judeo concepts, but Greco-Roman concepts, where it is the rights of the individual, a personal bill of rights, particular liberties, the rights of the individual to bear arms, to have free speech, the right to assemble, the right to have to worship the way that they would so desire, etc. And so these are to strengthen the individual, lest the corporate, the overall ruling entity of the government, should try to take them away. I'm not trying to get political here, but that's basic civics and understanding. So America is about the rugged individual, and we've seen many individuals rise up over the years seeking honor and esteem for themselves, whether it's through politics or sports or business, etc. We also have a fierce sense of independence. We have the flag that is still flown and displayed with the coiled snake, "Don't tread on me." And so it's about the individual saying, my rights, my place, my home, my land, and just don't tread on me, don't push me, as opposed to, I'm here to be successful, to grow, to endeavor, to achieve so that the whole community might be benefited. We really don't see that regularly displayed. Yah then is calling a different people out of the Greco-Roman society that we have been raised in. In teaching us, it's not necessarily a Hebraic mindset. While it is more rightly a righteous mindset. I'm not saying that independence is wrong, that individualism is wrong, but they must serve the group that we know as the whole, or the covenant body of Israel. My spiritual gifts, your spiritual gifts, are not for the glory of the individual, but to edify the body, Rav Shaul, Apostle Paul taught. That now understood, when such a group of people began to walk uprightly before Yah, then we see that there are certain benefits that began to be displayed. And Yah says that he will cause them to take place among us. He says, I will give you rain. Rain in its season. Well, there is an agricultural benefit to that, certainly. But rain in Deuteronomy, Devarim chapter 32 and verse 2, is also referenced as the word. Let my words fall like rain, gentle rain, a soaking rain. So Yah is saying, if you will obey me, I will give rain to your fields, but I will also rain my word upon you. The land is a reference to Eretz, or the land of Israel. This is the land of promise. Bereshit, or Genesis chapter 15, Yah says to Abraham, this is the land, these are the borders of your inheritance for you and your descendants. I give you this land. And so there is the promise that we have a place. The whole world is in turmoil right now, arguing about that particular place. Fulfillment of prophecy. He says then that the trees of the field will yield their fruit. Trees is not only a fruit-bearing tree or a tree necessary for construction, but a tree is a symbol of a righteous man. Psalms chapter 1 says that I want to be a righteous man, like a tree planted by the rivers of waters, bearing its fruit in its season. A righteous man, a Sadiq then, is like a tree. Yah says that he will cause the Sadiqs to be elevated men of righteousness, and then he says they will be fruitful. Excuse me. John, Yochanan chapter 15. Again, talking about the vines being fruit-bearing, or even you can make this to trees being fruitful. That which bears fruit will be pruned. Vines and trees are pruned in order to become even more fruitful, that the fruit will be of higher quality. Yah is then not only saying that your orchards will be agriculturally productive and fruit-bearing, but that your righteous people will also, like trees and vines, they will be fruit-bearing. There will be works of righteousness that will be edified and evident among you. He said that the trees of the field will be fruitful. The field, Yeshua says in Matthew 13, is where the seed is sown. And it is then where the word is planted. This is the nations, this is those who have ears that can hear what the Ruach is saying. If someone has an ear to hear what the Ruach is saying, the Holy Spirit is saying, then they need to hear. That needs to be a sower of the seed among those who have the ears to hear. And then it says that he will do these things in their season. The seasons, we understand, is not only the right calculating of times and months and years, but it's also the HaMoedim, the feast days. Yah shows all of these things: the teaching of the word, the giving of the inheritance of the land, Sadiqs, men and women of righteousness, bearing fruit among the fields of those who have ears to hear what the Ruach is saying. And then he will come and celebrate with us in our seasons, in the feast days, to celebrate the fact that he will give us all these things to an obedient people. We are a Judeo-based nation. Let's live that way. See you tomorrow. To then, shalom.